Yep, scored. It's recording.
Yeah, you can talk, innit?
No, I thought you were gonna start off.
Oh, I mean, so yeah, we have a lot to talk about, I guess. I don't always want to talk about Man United, but yeah, we're in crisis right now, ain't we? So today, let's talk about if we genuinely believe there is a chance that this could actually work under Amorim. So, like he hasn't started well at all. Like we've seen, like where are we in the league? 13th after our win,
Yeah, I think 13th. No,
thereabouts. It's not looking good,
12th.
you know.
We're 12th. We're 12th.
Some of the decisions he's
Yeah, give
made,
him
you know.
credit.
And let's be real. The only reason we're even 12th is because of one player and one player only, Amad Diallo. So, do you guys feel like there's potential here? Or
I mean, do I think it's possible to win with his tactics? Sure. If he had the perfect players in all of his positions. But is it realistic for us to get what we would need in all of those positions anytime soon? Probably not. And that also, like, you're assuming that you're not going to make mistakes on the players you sell. You're not going to get worse at any point. And the signs at the moment are suggesting that he's going to make some mistakes, in my opinion. So it's possible, yes, to answer your question. But yeah.
so what are the signs that you've seen that make you believe that he's not going to be successful?
Well, as I said last week, when it comes to Bruno, I'm going to start with him just because he's the player that, again, just like with all the previous managers we've had, he's got a role where they don't even feel like you can take him off the pitch. So not only does he start every game, you can't sub him off. And for me, in Amram's formation, he just doesn't work to any high level. As a central midfielder, he's never been good enough to be a centre mid in a double pivot. It doesn't matter what formation it is at the top level. He just doesn't have the skill set for it. And yet, he's clearly going to play a lot of games there, right?
Yeah.
And then the other positions he plays sometimes on the left, and then that also gives us a lot of issues, especially at the moment where we don't have a left wing back. But even if we did, it still wouldn't be ideal. So the fact that those issues clearly aren't being seen as an issue to him because he doesn't even sub him off suggests that, okay, he's going to get it wrong and it's going to take him a while and a lot of failure to actually realize that it's not going to work with Bruno in the team. And some people might think that's a bit over the top, saying it's not going to work because of one player. But I just can't see a scenario where it works with Bruno in the team. So, yeah.
Okay, yeah, because I've done a lot of thinking about, just thinking whether, trying to make sense of this appointment, trying to, look from Amorim's perspective on a lot of, the decisions he's made. And I just can't see, I can't make any sense of it all, to be honest. Like, let's start. We can start with, him, dropping certain players out of the team for whatever reason. Guys like Marcus Rashford. So he's dropped since he's come. He's dropped Marcus Rashford and Garnacho from the starting 11 at least, and he's completely dropped Marcus Rashford from the squad.
He's brought Garnacho back into the team, though. That's
Okay,
one
yeah,
thing recently.
out of necessity. He's seen that. What was he playing before Garnacho? He was playing Bruno.
Yeah, Bruno on the left of the three, and then
Oh, so he's brought in
Amrabat.
Garnacho for Manu.
Yes, exactly.
He's not a big fan of Manu, clearly. Okay. Ah man, I've just been trying to make sense of it all, and just going back to his days at Sporting, yeah. That's and when I look at the team that he was playing at Sporting, that's when I can kind of see what he's trying to do with this United team. I feel like he's trying to use that same model. He believes the model he used to win the Portuguese league will be successful in the Premier League. I think that's what he thinks.
So
Yeah.
why can't it be?
Why can't it be? Because you know, the competition, the level of competition.
And also,
Other than Porto, Benfica, and Sporting, like no other team will stay up in the Prem.
That's true.
can
No
I
other team will stay up in the Prem,
can I add
and
something
even
as
Port,
well?
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, also, you have to remember, yeah, like we were saying last week, he has a top striker in Jokeres. He has a potentially world class player in Quenda. And for that league, they actually have, those two potentially world class players. They actually have some other good players in the squad as well. So, like you say, I think in in the Portuguese league, if you can get it right against the other teams, like if you can dominate the lower teams, you've got to win, and you can. Oh, I mean, right now Porto not really. They're not fantastic. They don't really have any top players in their team. But when Amorim was winning and when Benfica, they've kind of, they've. I'd say they've fallen off a little bit in recent years. So I think Amorim probably did have the best squad to be playing that style of football. But I don't think you can replicate it in the Premier League unless you get the the best, like you were saying, the perfect squad, the perfect players for each position. Because like I said, there's too much competition in the Premier League.
Yeah, that makes sense. I guess the logic is that he'll just do the same thing, but with better players at United because he'll be able to attract better players, right, than at Sporting. So it's like, I guess if I look at it with exactly what he did at Sporting, yeah, that won't be enough. But maybe in his head, he has a plan for us to be a better version of what he did at Sporting. And do you guys think that could work? Like maybe with improved players in each of those positions. Because yeah, I would agree. At Sporting, he had a good solid team. No one in that 11 was a bad player. Everyone in that 11 is definitely a Premier League level player, and maybe more than that. There was a good base level in that team, especially towards the end, after the recruitment, because the recruitment was quite impressive, I would say, at Sporting.
Who was that?
Um,
Was that Hugo Viana?
yeah, Hugo Viana,
And
who's about to
and
join Manchester
and yeah,
City.
he's going to Man City as well.
Yeah, I think that's really what was the most impressive thing. Gyökeres, great signing because you know you can say he looked great in the Championship, but Prem teams didn't take the chance, did they? And he's gone to levels and levels. He's a top player. Um, Yeah, the midfielders they signed, Morita, great signing. Diomande, great signing. Um, Jenny Katamu, great signing. So they've made some really good signings there. Even Pote when Bruno left, right? So definitely that's probably what I don't want to take all credit away from Amorim, but that's the hugely impressive part to me. But he had to put them in the structure, and it worked, right? He won 2 titles. My thing is to get to the level where you can beat Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea, and Arsenal, especially, right? He's going to have a team where he can control games, right? And what will it take to control games with his system in the Premier League? A
Uh,
whole lot. A whole lot.
he needs two world class midfielders with a world class striker that holds the ball up. The forwards need to have pace as well to get in the behind. They need to be good on the ball as well, good in possession. Bro, I think he's asking for too much personally. especially where Man United is right now, in terms of trying to attract the best players. Man United is not in the best place financially or reputationally. So I think he's going to have a hard test trying to attract the guys that he really wants to play in his formation.
Yeah,
Mm.
I agree. I think it's gonna be tough, but I'm not sure if it's impossible. You
Yeah.
know?
So do you think he's correctly identified the weaknesses in the squad?
No.
Yeah, I
No.
don't think so. No.
So he's identified Rashford, Garnacho, from where it looks Casemiro. Okay, let's just look at
The strikers as well. He
the
doesn't rate the strikers.
strikers, I
Well,
guess.
yeah.
But what does he expect?
Anthony.
What does he like? What does he want? He wants I'm guessing he wants a striker who's fast, strong, can dribble like Messi, can finish like
Look,
he wants a tall Messi basically. Is that what he
no,
wants?
I don't think this. I mean, in the team that we have right now playing, maybe that is what it would take for it to work. But I think there's definitely better strikers out there than the ones we have, right? So him wanting a better striker, that's not an issue to me. I want a better striker as well.
Mhm.
But I think, yeah, he's not putting our strikers in the best position to succeed at the moment. That's one thing I'd say. I think I think he's made up his mind on these players very quickly, right? Good. I like that as a manager. You should be able to make up your mind quickly. But he's made up his mind, as you say, Rashford, one of our better players. Garnacho, one of our best young players. And then add that into making it harder for Hoyland and Xerxes. So it's pretty much impossible for them to succeed now, right? It's now high stakes with the signings he makes, the attacking players he signs this coming summer.
Yeah.
Very, very high stakes. And it's whether he can sign the right players, you know?
I mean, nah, man. Honestly, I don't think like the players are out there. I don't think the necessary players to challenge for the title with what he deems as what we need. I don't think the players are out there. I honestly, I don't, man. Because he for some reason he feels like centre mids need to be limited. Centre mids they shouldn't take
I don't
touches.
think that's it.
All the
I don't
build up
think.
should be from the wings. That's his
Well, okay,
philosophy, huh?
okay,
Huh?
yeah, the build up from the wings, that's key. Okay, let's talk about that because at Sporting, that's what he did, right? He had like
Yeah, but
midfield.
it's the Portuguese league, bro.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
the players like Morita and Hulmund and Pote, they're good enough to, come up with something if teams lock off the wings, for example. And for example, like it's not easy to lock off guys like Quenda. It's not easy. It's not easy to lock these guys off. But this is the Prem, mate. Like we're coming up against high level opponents every game, more or less. You can't. It's not easy, like to come up with a team like this. Like for his system to work, we literally need ballers all over the gaff. Is like don't get me wrong. I feel like there isn't a perfect system in football. Like any like functional system can be successful in football as long as the right profiles and there's elite players playing in their in their correct roles all over the pitch. Yeah, but it doesn't. I don't think he knows his system that well. Honestly, he doesn't know what gets the best out of his system, which is, well, in my opinion, which is the biggest worrying thing for me. Which makes me think he doesn't know what he's doing because,
No,
man,
this is the highest. This is the highest level that he has used his system. Portuguese league is not a very high level league, and this is the best. This is like he's gone from Portuguese league using this system to a Premier League using this system, and not being
he's
very
out of his depth.
flexible.
He's out of his depth. He's out of his depth. It's for me. It's clear. Like even though like people can say, oh, he deserves at least a full season. Why though, man? It doesn't really take that long to notice these things, in my opinion. He's had a few months, and there's been no progress at all.
Okay, so let's break it down. What's the biggest issues in the team right now for you? For both of you, like if you look at the team, what do you think is what we would need to actually improve on the most?
Uh,
The team he's playing.
I would say chance creation.
Hmm.
You
I would
don't
even,
create chances.
I would even say just holding on to the ball and like the midfield. The midfield, even when I want to watch them live, and even when I watch them on the TV, like the midfield is just the midfield gets the ball side pass, but just the ball side pass like some kind of shit metronome. Like really and truly, what they need to be doing is playing the ball from the midfield into the forward. That's what I would be thinking, that they'd be playing the ball in this formation from the midfield into the forward players, and they can never ever they can't get the angles. Maybe it's just maybe they're not coached that way. I don't know what it is, but for me,
Yeah.
that's a part that needs to be fixed.
I agree with you. I don't think it's coaching though. I think it's the players he's picking. So if you play Ugarte and Bruno together in midfield, I think because you can't say Bruno isn't someone who could play passes in theoretically, right? To a striker, he can he can see a good pass and he can make a good pass. But the whole point of when you have a double pivot, right, and you have two players playing centre mid, you need to get the ball from the defense into the forward players, right? While there's players pressing you, there's players, blocking off lanes, all of that stuff, right? You have now in the Premier League, you need well-rounded players who can take
1
their
second,
time,
I'm coming now.
who can take their time, be patient, right? And the only player we have who can do that stuff is Menu,
He
right?
doesn't like that though. The coach doesn't want that.
Exactly.
He doesn't
Right?
understand football. He doesn't
He-
understand football. Listen. Let me make a point as well. Yeah.
Mhm.
I wish he was here to hear this, but what one observation I've made, yeah, when Mainu's on the pitch playing, when he's on the pitch anywhere, yeah, and Ahmad is playing more centrally and he's not playing wing back, that's when Ahmad is like able to run the game. But when Mainu's not there, bro, we barely see Ahmad on the ball.
Yeah.
We barely see it because Bruno is always looking for the Hollywood pass. He doesn't know how to dictate. He doesn't know how to
It's
control the game.
but
I'm listening.
yeah.
Oh yeah. By the way,
Again,
I'm listening. I'm listening. Yeah, when you guys I can hear you when I'm gone. I'm coming.
okay,
Just give me
cool.
2 minutes.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think it's Bruno. Oh, in fact, I know it's not Bruno. It's with Bruno. This is what people need to realize. It's not his choice just because that's how he likes to play. He just wants to be direct. He just wants to. I'm just always thinking about the goal. Sure, he might be that type of player, but he does it in situations where it's not the best thing to actually help us build up play because he can't do anything else. This is what people need to realize. If he's about to get pressed and he knows, all right, I would need to hold off, dribble a bit, turn direction, and hold on to the ball here. He knows he doesn't have the skill set to do that. So he'd rather launch a pass and think, all right, rather than lose the ball here, let me do something and maybe there's a chance it'll be successful. That's his logic. I think that's how he thinks. And it's impossible to regularly create chances when that's what your centre mid is doing, especially if the guy next to him is just a destroyer, right? That's the thing. So you got two players and neither of them can take the subtle shorter pass that is actually going to help us in two or three passes to get the ball to Ahmad in a dangerous position, right? Now, for me, like the only way it would work in fact, it couldn't work with Bruno. But if he had like a Rodri mixed with Makalele, you know, next to Bruno, that's like a way where in a lot of games, all right, he could just get away with having a limited role and just play some passes. I genuinely, and I'm not even exaggerating, I genuinely think that is what would be needed for someone like Bruno to work at this level.
Honestly, man, Bruno, it's just It's not gonna work, man. It's not gonna work with this coach. It's not gonna work with Bruno. He's not good enough. He's not that good. He's not that good. Like, why is he our captain? Why is he Man United captain? He's not even English. Like, why do people love him so much? It's
I
very
get why people love him. It's because, especially if you're watching the highlights of a game, or you only really switch on when the ball's close to the goal, then you don't look at most of his negatives. Does that make sense? You're not thinking about that stuff, or you don't consider it to be that important, because you're kind of just like, oh, okay, just wait for the ball to get near the box. Oh, okay, now the football started. Whereas the reason it's so hard watching Man U is the ball hardly gets around the box. And why doesn't it get around the box? It's because we don't have players with the quality to build up in the most efficient way. He's so inefficient. So inefficient.
How can you have an inefficient player as one of your centre mids?
Yeah, you can't do
How
that.
like
Not at the top level.
what league winning team has had that?
I mean, yeah,
Huh?
I can't think of one.
In history.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, man.
but I don't think Bruno's a terrible player. You know, as I said, like
He's not.
as a number 10, surrounded by two top midfielders, two wide players who are good in possession, and a striker who's got some hold up play but also can run in behind. Yeah, Bruno's a good player and someone you would like in that specific system. But that's the only system. And people need to understand that the thing that annoys me about Bruno, and we're going back onto a Bruno run, but it's that people make it seem like his issues are something other than his skill set. No, his issue is his skill set, and that's why he makes the decisions that he makes on the pitch. It's not like, oh, he could do something else. He could dictate play if he wanted to. That's not the truth. He doesn't have the skill set. You know? Yeah. But anyway, so
They don't know what dictating play is, though. That's the thing. They they actually don't know what it means.
okay, so with Mainu, let's talk about what what we see as what his role should be, and what happens if he's not used in the way that he needs to be in this Amorim system. Yeah.
Obviously, a lot of people calling for him to play as more attacking as a left attacking mid
Right.
in this system. Because they see him dribble with the ball, so they think, okay, he needs to be closer to goal because no one else is able to do that. I get it, innit? But we need someone who can actually do that, and that's their position, right?
Mm.
So, do you have anything to say about it? Because
Yeah, for me, I agree. Like, he could play that role. He could play as a left 10. He's got the ability to, and I don't think it would go badly necessarily for the team. If, say, we had two world-class midfielders playing centre mid anyway, right? He could do that job. It wouldn't get the best out of him, in my opinion, because not half, but firstly, one of the best things about him is how good he is defensively. And a lot of people don't see it because they don't really look at how they don't consider how good you are defensively on how often you're successful at your actions. They look at it more how much effort it looks like you're applying, or how quickly it looks like you're getting across ground, which these are things that you can't really quantify. And you know, people, in my opinion, they place too much value in stuff like maybe body language, things like that. These aren't the things that win you games. These aren't the things that stop other teams from being able to play their games easily, right? he's got great positioning. He's great 1v1 as a defender, as in tackling. He 1v1, he's very good at it, you know. Now, he's not a number 6 where you want him to be solely picking up the ball in front of the defense, but he's got the skill set to as well, right? I see some people say he doesn't offer enough passing forward, right? I don't think that's true either. Maybe he's not. I don't know. You know, it's not his main thing to be a creator from deep, right? That's not his main role. He can do it at times, but
He
what
makes
you
the right passes. That's what he does. That's what
exactly,
he's good for. He
exactly,
makes the correct passes. Just
yeah.
because he's able to pass to someone who's in space, and there's no one else around him, and the player that they're passing to doesn't possess the ability to, find another player. He's not able to beat three guys, hold on to the ball when there's three guys onto him. Like, that's what Bruno does. He just looks for the Hollywood pass, looks for someone who's in space, and then the crowd will cheer. "Hey!" Love those passes. But it's Dallo on the left wing by himself, no help. So what's that gonna do? We're gonna lose the ball, and then the attack has broken down. Or he's gonna give it to Hoyland, completely isolated, 3 defenders on him, a DM and 2 centre backs on him.
Hey, well, in fact, can I say a word about that? The way I feel like the way these people, the guys in the media, Ferdinand and all these guys, the way they're talking about these strikers, yeah, it's like they're not watching the match. Like, what do you expect these guys to do, bro? Like, we don't keep the ball because we don't have the players to keep the ball. They get the ball in very challenging situations where they have to battle. They never get the ball in situations where, okay, you know what, they have time because we can't hold on to the ball. We can't bring the team up. And these guys are like, oh, Ireland, he needs to do more. What more can he do, bruv? What else do you want him to do, fam? You want to hold up the ball? That's not really his skill set. You have Xerxes, and then when Xerxes not running in behind, oh, he's not doing enough. He's not doing enough. I find it crazy that people can actually speak this, like, can say these things about these players.
I think it says a lot about why a lot of these ex-Man U players aren't successful as managers, because what they all fail to do is see the whole picture. They can watch a game where we don't create any chances, meaning we don't score any goals, and go, all right, we need some goals. We need a striker and a better striker. Or they can watch a game where we let in a few goals and go, all right, our defense isn't good enough. This is very basic. If when you start watching football analysis, this is you need to be able to look at what a player is doing wrong, and maybe at least think, all right, cool. Because, for example, Hoyland, he lost the ball a lot in the last game against Fulham, right? True. All right, that is true. Are there players out there who would do better on the ball at holding on to the ball? Absolutely. Right? If he was better, would we have been a team, would we have been dominant, and that would have sorted out all of our problems? And would he had loads of chances? No. So putting all the focus on that, it doesn't do us any good. It doesn't do us any good because once we sort out that thing, we're still going to be shit. I would rather us focus on the things that would actually make us a team that can start creating chances. You watch Man United games, and it's not just now, but for years now, and it's not going to be a game where we create multiple good chances. I'm talking 5 years. 5 years of watching us, and all right, we're not going to create more than 3 really good chances through play. Maybe like a set piece or something will happen, but like through actual build-up play, and all right, this person passes this, good ball is. That's not going to happen. That's ridiculous. That's what we should be focusing on. Yeah. Okay, so when it comes to Ahmad, right? I think we all agree that he's the player we're most reliant on right now, and I think most Man U fans can see that. But we've got the issue of sometimes he plays wing back, sometimes he plays as the right 10, right?
Yeah.
And in different moments in those games, sometimes he looks like he's not being used effectively. Maybe he's out of the game sometimes when he's in one of those 10 roles, but also sometimes on the right wing back, it doesn't look like he's close enough to go, right? So, firstly, what do you guys think is the best solution for how we use Ahmad? And yeah, what can we do about being so one? Why are we such a one-man team? I
All
guess
right. Do you
that's
know
the
what?
question.
Yeah, I think that Ahmed could play that position if he had the support, like
Which
uh,
position you mean?
the right wing back position. I thought
Right.
he was not bad as long as he had the support with somebody like an Anthony to play ahead of him, or not necessarily Anthony, but with the players that we have, for me the only person who can play with him on that side properly is Anthony, because Anthony can draw defenders, doesn't mind holding on to the ball, even though he's not the best at it. Like, he can take away some of the work that they can share. That they can share the attacking duties on that side of the pitch. And I saw it a little bit when Anthony was playing in the game against Southampton. He only had half. He missed the open goal. He missed the sitter. But at the same time, in terms of Ahmad playing, Anthony was. I think Anthony playing close to Xerxes, not being scared to face, like, to take the ball and face up to the players, and then share passes with Ahmad. I think that was quite effective. That was quite helpful for him. So I just think as long as you find somebody who's effective in the right forward position, or you have somebody who's effective in the right, like, I just think Ahmad is, a lot of the time he's doing too much work by himself, and I feel like we need to have a quality player who also has the mental ability. Like, he's not silly. He knows what he's doing on that side of the pitch to help him. Because Dallo, I don't really like that. I don't think Dallo is a particularly intelligent player, and Mazraoui is an intelligent player. But I just, going forward, I think I see him as a defender more than an attacker. So I
Yeah.
feel like Ahmad needs a fellow good attacker that he can play with, or somebody that can play with him to get more opportunities on that side of the pitch. You can't just keep playing Ahmad with any old guy on that side and thinking he's gonna do everything.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
this is what I have to reiterate. Like, this guy doesn't know what he's doing, because he's playing all these guys out of position in his system. Like, so okay, cool. He's adamant that this is the system he wants to play. Yeah, this formation, this system. If he's really the guy, he will know, like, where. So he's looked at our squad. He should look at our squad and see where everyone fits in perfectly in this system, or where everyone's best position in this system would be. And he has failed so badly. Mazraoui, he was playing best when he was playing right centre back. When was the last time we saw him play right centre back? Dallo,
But
every game he's terrible at left wing back. Every single game he still persists with that.
I think he would say, if you said that to him, though, that I don't have any other options.
Oh my gosh. But how could that be the case though? Like, he literally had Anthony there as well. Like, every time he would come on, the guy is changing the game. Like the Southampton game, for example. Bro, we were so bad, and then Anthony came on. Then now, all of a sudden, Ahmad is getting the ball so much more. I wonder why. Because there's other players he can link with. There's players who are gonna bring the ball from the defensive third to to Ahmad. He doesn't have to do all of the work. He doesn't have to go collect the ball from the defense, dribble past everyone. Now there's someone else who's gonna help him do that. When is Mazraoui? When is Dallo with him doing that? Ahmad still has a lot of work to do, innit? But he hasn't identified these simple things. And that makes me just know that he's just like everyone else. He's just a bum. He's just an average manager. He's not a serious guy. And all the credit goes to the director of football who was at Sporting. It's not Amorim. It wasn't Amorim. It wasn't Amorim. It wasn't.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I guess I'm trying to play devil's advocate to to
No.
to to like to see if there's a way that I can look at his decisions and go, all right, it might not be what I'm gonna do, but okay, I can see this working. I can see this working out, right?
He keeps talking about, like, what did he say about Casemiro the other day? He said, like, basically he doesn't see a way that he fits into the team.
Did he say
How?
that? Okay, yeah.
Like, that's why he's not playing. He said
Okay.
something along those lines.
Mhm.
How can you say that? How can you say that? And you know what? It was after the Newcastle game. That's when Casemiro stopped playing for us, which is so crazy to me because how can you scapegoat one player for a team's poor performance like that?
Yeah.
You're the one
And
picking.
with that Newcastle game, anyone that just understands football basically should look at that lineup and go, okay, you can't win this game. What he picked at the start of that game was incredible. Xerxes on the left. He set the whole team to fail. It's ridiculous. So, and then he used that as a way to make a statement, taking off Xerxes after 30 minutes for Menu. You know? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I get what you're saying. I think with guys like Ahmad, Menu, we all agree that they should be part of the future, right? Like they should be starting players. These are the ones that we don't have to worry about
Those are the
when we're
type of
trying to
players
improve
that
in the
just take the
future.
burden off everyone else, man.
Mm,
They make it easier for other players to play. Do you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? They allow the team to be cohesive.
yeah,
You know, they're not just looking for key passes. They're not trying to build
Oh,
their stats. You know what I'm saying?
there's,
They're trying
there's
to help the team.
there's a point I wanted to
They're
make as
dragging the
well
team.
with Amorim. It's surprising to see how often he has to make an early change because he made the wrong decision in his starting lineup. Like
yeah,
people are praising. I understand people are praising him because under Ten Hag, this guy would wait for the last second to make a change, and people are praising him for making early changes, which I understand. But you shouldn't have to be making early changes every single match.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That just means that
That's my point.
you've picked the wrong team. Like you always need to change something early in the game. Like bro, like did you not know who you're playing against? Did you not scout the other team? Did you not you know what I'm saying? There's little things like that. I just feel like nah, man, the top manager wouldn't be in this situation all the time.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. So I guess the question is, yeah, to go back to the beginning, if we're looking at what we know what his tactics are, right? Everyone knows what his tactics are. Um, is there a way, Jermaine, for this to be successful? Your opinion?
I think he needs to sign. He well, the first he needs to show that he's a capable manager. Like he's capable of deciding who can play in the system and who will be successful. And I think I personally would like to give him because as a fan, I don't think there's anything else we can do anyway. I would like to give him a chance in a transfer window to see what he can do and the kind of players that he's looking at, who he thinks can improve the way we play. And
So, what do you think could work? Like, if he
uh,
made the right signings, like, for example,
what do you
what
what do you
type of
mean?
signings
So
could
like
make what you've seen work?
looking at the wing backs, there's a certain kind of wing back that he needs to sign. If he's going to get rid of Rashford and Garnacho, then it's like okay, so what kind of inside forward are you trying to sign? And I guess I have my own opinion on these kind of players, and I just think it'll be very difficult in this day and age at Man United to buy players who are better than a Rashford or Garnacho at prices that are even like cheaper than what we're looking to sell Garnacho for. And it's just like I feel like anyway, yeah, like I said, like so someone like Patrick Dorgu, I don't think he's a bad option to look at left as a left wing back.
He's
Um,
not gonna save us, though, is he? He's just not gonna save us. Let's be real,
yeah.
man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, cool. We need a left wing back. That's one position he identified, correctly, that we need to improve on.
Yeah.
But the other weaknesses he identified are incorrect. They're incorrect completely, and he's failed just like the previous managers have failed in identifying our weaknesses. So how can we improve if by not correctly identifying our weaknesses? How?
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, you're right. I think that's exactly what it comes down to. I think that explains our failures for the last decade, pretty much. Managers coming in and making the wrong choice on what our issues are.
Well, do you know?
So
I think it's definitely more a case of managers come in and they're like, okay, I want to play like this. Like we haven't, apart from maybe Ole and Jose were the only two I would say that didn't really try to stamp any kind of authority. Like, oh, we need to play this way. They were the only guys who were like, okay, let's look at who we have, the players that we have, and let's make the best team we can. Let's think, okay. Don't get me wrong,
yeah,
Ole messed up in a lot of situations, but I would say out of all the managers that we had, the managers that and Jose was very annoying as well. But I think the managers that had that I saw the lineups and I thought, oh, okay, out of the players that we have, this isn't a terrible lineup. I can
yeah,
say that more times with Ole and Jose than I could with Van Gaal.
with the others. Yeah,
Yeah, with the others. I didn't mind. I liked Van Gaal as a manager because he wanted to refresh the team in his own way. But yeah, the other
yeah.
managers,
I mean,
everybody wants to swap everybody out and bring in the new guys. And come on, man, what is that?
and to be fair, the two you said, Ole and Jose, they are the people that have done the best jobs. Like just looking at the results, looking at where we ended up finishing in their best seasons, I think they've definitely been the managers that have done a good job. I wouldn't say either of them did a good job. They both made huge mistakes, huge
Yeah,
costly, project ruining mistakes.
yeah,
But at the same time, yeah, I agree with you. They got the closest. Right.
and
I could
yeah,
go through each manager we've appointed and say what the actual problem was in the team at the moment and what they saw as a problem, because it explains why we don't get better, right? And yeah, I agree that the signs are we're not going to get better again because you're replacing Rashford and Garnacho with a player you find more suited. The impact it can have on this team is minimal compared to taking out Bruno or getting a much better version of Ugarte or
yeah,
getting top wing backs who can, have the ability to get up and down with pace, but then they also have quality on the ball to link up with Ahmad, for example. Those are clearly the issues in the team. But yeah, it's not looking good. Yeah. How about you, Charlie?
What?
In terms of what would be the way that you can see this being successful from here?
Successful under Amorim?
Yeah, let's just
Well, he's
let's
the
say.
one making the decision, so
Yeah,
how are
I
we
get
gonna
it.
be
I
a
get it.
success?
Let's assume he's made all the decisions we know so far, right? He's made them.
So how can he
Eh,
come back from this?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, he just, bro. But it's like what I say we need. He doesn't want. He doesn't agree. Clearly, it's clear he doesn't agree because he doesn't want Maini to be a starter.
Yeah.
He wants Bruno to be one of the key men. So you're basically saying, how do we succeed around that?
Yeah, I'm
and
just trying to find
How
a
do we
okay.
succeed
Now do you
around
know
that?
what?
We're not in the top 10, bro.
That's
Like
that's
we
that.
can't attract the players that we need.
That's
We can't
another.
attract Bellingham. We can't attract these players. So what we can't attract Alfonso Davis.
So
We
these are
can't
the
attract
only players that could make Bruno in the team work.
But
yes, we can't attract
but
Yeah,
Saka. We
I
can't
agree.
attract
I agree.
bro, it's
can I add something? I'm gonna add something as well. You know the whole if you look at the squads that we've had since Bruno came, the best Bruno, the only time Bruno was, I'd say, a strong, effective player was when we had the Greenwoods and the Pogbas and the Rashfords and the Marshalls. When we had the guys that could play football.
Anyone would have been effective there, bro.
Oh no,
AP would have been effective playing with all these guys.
I know that's true, but that's what I'm saying. Every time you've got rid of one of those guys and you replace them with somebody else who can fit a system, our position in the league just seems to go down, and now we're 12th after a jammy victory versus Fulham.
You know what that is? The people in charge of recruitment do not understand football. They don't understand football. They don't understand how it works. They don't understand what makes a good player. They don't understand what makes a team work.
Yeah,
They don't understand it. They've never been in that position to understand it. We went and got the direct, bruv. This Omar Barada guy, yeah. When we heard we were getting someone from City, we were all intrigued, and then we saw his name is Omar Barada. Everyone was like, "Who is this? We've never seen this guy's name before." Do you know why? Because he's in charge of the accounting. He's in charge of all that stuff. He doesn't know anything about football, bro. He's just a banker. We're getting bankers to do who barely know anything about football, no pedigree in the game, haven't succeeded anywhere on the football side of things, to try and bring back Man United. How is it gonna work? How is it gonna work? Jim Ratcliffe, the guy, bro. Oh my gosh, man.
Yeah,
It's
fair
sad.
point,
We're
man.
in a sad spot. We're in the worst spot we've ever been in. And it's not because of the players. It's not. Don't let them brainwash you into thinking that. It's not the players. We have good players there. That's why some of our worst players will leave and go and look like ballers at other clubs. Look at McTominay, bro. Look at McTominay putting up numbers, winning the league in Italy. What? He's part of a league-winning team.
Yeah.
Playing in a completely different position that he was playing at Man United.
That's the key right there. A different position than he was playing at Man U. Just like every single one of our players, Pogba, Ericsson, Mata, how many players that never got to play their position at the club? McTominay.
It's crazy.
Oh my god.
It's crazy.
How do people you claim to be like a real football fan or someone who knows about football, even these pundits, but you don't understand that players need to play in the best position. Like these pundits used to play football and they don't understand that. How does
Do you know what I think that is, right? Especially with the ex-Man U guys. They're the types of players. They would get moved out of position for like maybe a 5-game stretch or something, and we'll still be winning. You know, they'll be like, oh, it's not that bad. You know, I could make it work. Not realizing all of the little tactical adjustments that someone like a competent manager like Alex Ferguson, obviously more than competent, like would make to make it okay, right? If Michael Carrick was out and he'd play maybe, I don't know, who do we have around this time? Anderson with scores or Gibson or someone like that. He wouldn't just do the exact same thing. Or if he moved Giggs into the inside, he wouldn't just like. And by the way, these are top players. I'm not trying to say that. I'm not trying to say that doesn't make an impact.
these are top versatile players.
Versatile players, exactly. He would move the players that he knew had the skill set to suit those roles, right? Ryan Giggs has a skill set to play in midfield and on the left because that's how good a player he is. Just like Saka could, for example, right? Whereas you wouldn't play Vinicius in centre mid because he doesn't have the skill set to. It doesn't make him a bad player. He's still one of the best players in the world. It seems like common sense, but I think especially when we're struggling, people go, "Oh, if you don't want to play in this position, you don't care enough, or you're not trying hard enough." It's a mentality problem. That's what's going through their heads.
I think about the Paul Pogba, like the Paul Pogba period that we had at United, and I was watching highlights of Paul Pogba because Brazil Scout. Shout out to Brazil Scout. His video of Paul Pogba from 2 years ago is still up there, and I was watching. I was like, bro, these men had Paul Pogba, and they really didn't know. Okay, they didn't really actually know the players that they thought. Okay, let's sign this guy. Let's sign that guy. Like they didn't. They had no idea about who they should sign when you've got Paul Pogba in your team. And then another thought I had about Paul Pogba was that how good would Paul Pogba be in the Harry Kane position? You know the Harry Kane position when he came deep, when he came like playing up top, come deep to get the ball, do a little shimmy, get the defender out of the game and play a pass. Like how effective? Paul Pogba would be so effective in that position.
Oh, like as the like false nine.
As a false nine, I was watching him. I was just like the way he just holds guys off. Like guys,
He could do that. He could do loads of positions.
but instead they
But
wanted to play him defensive mid.
yeah,
Come on, man. These guys, bro. These managers deserve.
yeah,
Shouldn't be in the game anymore, man.
yeah. So I guess we've decided there's no like real point of of having any
He's not gonna
positivity.
do anything at this team, man. He's not gonna do anything. He's not gonna do anything, man.
So
And
we just
whoever
have to
comes
wait.
after isn't gonna do anything either, because these guys don't know what they're doing.
So it's
They're not gonna
over.
pick the right guy.
It's over then, basically.
Yeah, man, it's over, man. We
Uh,
like, find a new team, man.
Listen,
uh,
Let's
I've
talk about
always.
Chelsea or something, man.
I'm at Fulham. I've always had. I'm a Fulham guy. I'm gonna stick with Fulham.
Oh.
Even when Martinez scored against Fulham, I was like, oh shit.
No, why do we support Man United? We're not even from Manchester.
oh my god.
We're from London, bro.
This is bad, man. This is bad.
There's no reason to support them now. Let's be real. Like, there's no reason to support them. Like, okay, like if any of you have a child soon, are they gonna support Man United? Are you gonna push them to support United?
Yeah, man.
Okay, so you're a loyal one then.
Yeah, man. I believe, man. I believe one day we're gonna land on this manager, right? A manager that understands football and understands that. Oh, okay, I just need to put my best players in their best position and things will
My
work
luck.
out. Huh?
My luck.
I mean, it shouldn't be that hard, honestly. Listen, we are not where we are because we're like an average run Premier League club. We are at best the second worst Premier League club, like in terms of how we've been run. The only one that can maybe compete with us, I'll say, is Everton over the last. But I'll say we're worse run than Everton. I'd say we're
Look,
worse run than Everton.
Like,
So
it's clear. Like, even just seeing the way Amorim performs in his press conferences, the way he speaks to the media, you know, and the way everyone just eats it up, and everyone loves hearing his press conferences and that. It's clear we don't appoint managers based on their football knowledge. It's purely based on like their personality traits and stuff like that.
I can just imagine his interview. Like, I know he walked into the room. They're like, "Oh yeah, what have you got for us?"
But you know why we're appointing managers not based on their football knowledge? Because of the people appointing the managers. They don't know anything about football.
Yeah.
Until that changes, just give it a rest, guys, man. There's no hope. Like we literally have like all these players, the Ligt, Martinez, Mainu, Ahmad. I'm trying to think of all the good players here.
Well, you're not gonna put Euro in
that
there.
deserve more. That deserve more. You can say, bro, all these players, their career are just gonna be a waste because they signed for United. It's just gonna go to waste. They're not gonna achieve anything.
It doesn't stop there though. All the players that came before.
McTominay left. McTominay. This is McTominay, one of our worst players in recent years. One of our and he's winning the title as soon as he leaves, bro. Like, do you not see the significance of this?
Yeah, but you see, this is the problem, right? Even something like that, people can take it two ways. You can take it as, oh, okay, this is proof that, if even our average players are played in the right system, look at what you can do by getting the best out of them. But some people will go, oh, you see, McTominay was one of the good ones. He was one of and I've seen a lot of this. He is one of the guys we should have kept. You know, instead of wasting time with the Pogbas and the Sanchos and the Marshalls. There's loads of guys thinking like that. So
it's true.
This is
it's
it.
True.
This is the problem, man.
Oh my days! Like I could just like Rashford. he probably he's leaving a bit too late. He's leaving a bit too late, but
Yeah,
he
yeah.
kind of revived something in his career. Cool,
I
he's
hope
made a whole bunch of money, but at the end of the day, he hasn't achieved anything
Yeah.
really, as like at the highest level of football.
I
He hasn't
pray for
achieved
him.
anything.
I hope this next move he makes the right decision because it's the last chance. It's his last chance, unfortunately. If he had left earlier, he could have maybe made a couple of moves if necessary. But now, yeah, he has to get it right now.
So what do you think now? What's the best place that he could go to have the best opportunity now? You think?
I mean,
Tough.
yeah, go on, Casey.
I mean, if we're assuming, because obviously, look, no one wants to. He's on 300 and what 25K or something per week. No one wants to go from that to like 100K. So that rules out a whole lot of clubs.
Mm.
If we were including every club around, there's loads of teams. You know, he could go to Leverkusen, Juventus,
Oh yeah,
Marseille, those teams, sure, and be a key player there and stand out. But out of the realistic options, even though he wouldn't be a guaranteed starter right now, I like Barca. I think
yeah.
even if he's not playing every game, firstly, they're going to be in all the competitions, and the way they play football, he will get to show his football. He will get
Yeah.
to show that he can score goals at the highest level, and he'll have players around him. Finally,
That
that
can help him.
help him, give him the ball near the box. Imagine
Yeah.
that a wide forward getting the ball near the box so that he can take on players and score goals. You know, crazy, right? But I think that's all he needs really. You know, get the ball in the positions Vinicius gets the ball.
Yeah.
And you know what? I bet you he would get more goals than Vinicius as well in that league. That doesn't even have to start every game.
Mm,
I bet you he would.
mm.
So anyway,
I mean, bro, Rashford is a killer. Let's be real, bro. Rashford can get goals anywhere if he's playing in the right system,
Yeah.
in his right role, man.
if
The guy's
Rashford
a
played
killer.
for Atalanta
He's
20
better than
Ooh.
Lookman, isn't
every
it?
year, yeah,
Yeah.
he is. Lookman's a good player, a very good player, but he's better. He is. That, and again, and I understand why, like certain Man U fans, you'd hear that and go, what are these guys talking about? You know, I've seen Rashford.
No,
I
and you know
don't.
what? Yeah, again, Rashford is not. He's not a complete player. He's not like a super
Yeah.
well-rounded player. But the things that he's actually good at, like his finishing, his off-the-cuff dribbling, things like that, it's enough. At Barcelona, he can have a massive effect.
Yeah, but this is what gets me so angry when people try to defend like our managers. Yeah, look how much these guys are getting paid, and they don't understand simple things about football. How can you not get the best out of a player like Marcus Rashford? There's so much footage there out there. Like the guy's been playing in the league for years.
It's true.
Like you can literally just go back and watch his best seasons and where he was standing, like the positions he was taking on the pitch, where he was getting his goals from, to try and help him. But nah, he can't fit in. To get him out. Nah, he can't fit in. Get him out, man. Get him out. Oh, the guy, I'm telling you, man, he's not gonna do anything at the club, man.
All right, so I think to finish off, right, what we should do should take bets on how long Amorim's gonna last at United.
Oh, but this is the thing, KC, bro. It doesn't matter how long he should last, because these guys, they're trying to save face. They sacked the director of football that they that they were going after for how many
Yeah,
months?
yeah, that's a good point.
What's
It
his
was like a
name?
year. It was almost a year.
At
After,
Ashford. They were going
yeah,
after him for almost a year.
Oh
yeah,
Sacked him
yeah,
within 5 months.
yeah.
Within 5 months of his job.
That's a pretty clear sign you don't know what you're doing. To be fair,
Then I don't think they're gonna do that again, because if they sack Amorim like when they should sack him, these guys, there's gonna be a lot of questions asked about them.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they're gonna do the safe option and keep him for at least, I'll say at least till next February.
Okay. I was
At
actually
least.
gonna say around then for when I think he's gonna get sacked. Because I think what happens next season is he gets a few of his players, we probably do look like a better team in terms of we can create some chances and
We're
stuff.
back in the top 10.
Exactly, back in the top 10, and then it hits everyone. Oh, there's other Premier League teams that have also spent and got better. And he's doing everything he wanted to do. He's got the players he wanted, and we're ninth. And then it might not. I won't say February. I'm gonna say the end of next season. So summer, May 2026 is when he loses his job, because we'll get to the end of the season, he'll be 10th, and there'll be no more answers. And then it's like, oh, okay.
I think he could potentially lose his job by the end of the season.
Yeah.
I think if we don't finish in the group, I think if we finish in the bottom 5, the bottom 6, I think they'll get rid of him.
I disagree.
Yeah.
As long as we don't get relegated, he'll keep his job. 17th, you could be at last day. Do you know why? Because he's so good with his words. Like, he knows how to. But look what he said today about the players asking for a day off. What was the point of that?
Yeah.
Was that
He had
necessary
that
at all? He
ready.
just wants
He
to
had
turn
that ready
everyone against
up
the
his sleeve.
players.
Yeah.
Spin the narrative just like that, and then
Yeah,
he
bro.
could easily just say, "Well, I know what I'm doing. I've won 2 league titles in Portugal. I'm not even 40."
I'm not even 40. When he gets sacked, he should try politics. Yeah, I think it'll work for him. Yeah.
Oh man, he's a clown. He's clueless, man. Honestly, he doesn't know a thing, man. I was looking at his attributes on FM, innit? Because on my FM, I started like with the new updates or whatever. Yeah, and then he got sacked by like November because they were like 15th. I went to look at his attributes, bro. If you look at his technical attribute or what, I don't know what the coaching attributes, everything. I don't even think there was a stat over 10. It was just people management, the mental attributes. They were all high.
Oh man.
Hey, bro. These guys did not do their due diligence, man.
Yeah, man. All right, man. I think that should wrap up another positive episode.
I was a bit all over the place, but head was hot.
Man. Yeah. Next time, I think maybe let's try another.
You going tomorrow if you have time. If you guys have time.
Oh no, tomorrow I'm recording with the other lot. I mean, if you can do it early, like early-ish,
Thursday.
around this time.
I can do it early, I think.
About the same time. If you can do it around the same time, then
you can even do it. You probably can't do it early, okay? You know.
No, I can do it from like 4 to 6, 4 to 7.
Are you still recording?
Yeah, I'm gonna stop now. Yeah.
Let's wrap it up there, man.